All right, a little bit early here, so we're going to give people a few minutes to log in. We've got lots and lots of juicy stuff to go over. So like I said, we will give it a couple minutes for people to get in. I will do a sound, audio, visual check here. So we'll give it a second for everything to kind of fire up here. All right. Like I said, give it a couple quick moments here. And if you are joining in at any time of this live stream, don't worry. As soon as this stream is over, you are going to see this in the account page, in the live stream folder. What's up, Khalid? How's it going, man? A little early session today, right? Early session live stream. I normally do them at night, so I did it early. So what's up, man? How are you doing? And hey, Khalid, if you could let me know, how is the visuals and sound for you? If they're both pretty clear, just give me the thumbs up on stuff like that. But yeah, we got lots of stuff to go over. Like I said, I'm just waiting for a few more minutes, maybe another minute or so, let people log in. I did start a little bit early. Anyone out there, give me a sound and visual check. And like I said, once we give people time, we will get started, because there was a whole bunch of information that came out, and I wanted to make sure that everyone got caught up. All right, cool, rock on. All right, so today's live stream is going to be all things stellar. All right, over the course of the last couple weeks, I have gone harder and harder and deeper regarding data mining and putting the analytics together into different formats that all of us can digest it and can understand better. In the past, I guess a lot of people have looked at Stellar and kind of taken everything for surface level, right? And maybe, I guess, taken the data for granted. I don't know how many people out there were questioning the data or anything like that, but that's what I wanted to start doing. And I wanted to say, and thank you, Cleet, for the compliment, man. I really like that. And hopefully you guys are going to like this live stream, because this live stream is going to be intense. And it's going to teach you guys a whole bunch of cool stuff and a whole bunch of cool tips and tricks. But what got me into this was that... yeah, buy now or wait for the dip. So what I wanted to start this off with was this, okay? What started me on this journey of all this data analytics and better trying to understand the network is my past, right? My professional past. I can tell you firsthand that whenever you go somewhere, all right, whenever you do something, I kid you not, the overwhelming majority of time, the data sucks. And what I mean by that is there's data there, but it's kind of crappy, maybe it's not super accurate, maybe it's really old, or it doesn't apply to what you're doing right now. I'm telling you that anyone out there that has access to data, I can tell you this right now, it's not accurate. It is really not accurate. There's deviations from accuracy, and that's what I wanted to go over in this live stream, and that's what I wanted to tackle over the last few weeks regarding Stellar, all right? I have gone deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole, and I'm finding out it's not just a rabbit hole. It's these are legitimate concerns, and these are legitimate things that we need to explore and to understand, especially considering this is open, right? I mean, think about what we're talking about right now. This is open, right? Decentralized, open protocol, open ledger, open source coding. All of this stuff has to be as accurate as possible so that we can make the best decisions possible, okay? I want you guys to think about this, all right? For people out there that are like, hey, wait a minute, why do you have to go so deep into analytics, and why do you have to go so deep into numbers, all right? Well, let's start thinking about this and let's apply it to our real lives. When you're driving a car, what is right in front of you? Your windshield, right? Well, what else is right in front of you? Your dashboard, right? Front and center, except if you drive a Prius. If you drive a Prius, it's literally in the center of the dash, but whatever. But yeah, the gauges are right there, right in front of you, right? The biggest indicators have the biggest gauges. The smallest things are kind of tucked away in the corners and so forth, okay? But what if your car gauges weren't accurate? What if it said you were going 45, but you were actually going 52, right? What if your fuel gauge said you had 1/8 of a tank left, but in reality, you only had a 1/16, all right? That's how we need to start thinking about this stuff, right? You have to start thinking about data, especially auto-populated data like what you see out of Stellar Expert. This kind of stuff here, you have that auto-pop data has to be tighter and tighter and tighter, okay? Because we rely on dashboards, because we rely on our car's instrument panel in front of us, Yeah, that's what guides us, right? That tells us how to go, how fast, tells us when to change our oil. I mean, it's all sorts of information, and we rely upon that accuracy. In fact, we rely upon it so heavily that car maintenance schedules are based around that sort of feedback, all right? So I wanted to take that same principle with Stellar, all right? And I wanted to really break down the data and see how accurate the data is. And what I learned was crazy, all right? So what I started off with, and we'll just do a quick recap and then we'll get into it. And again, if you guys have any questions or comments, hit it up in the chat. It is just me today. I don't have my wife hanging out with me. So I'll just, like I said, I won't type a lot back, but I'll talk back. How about that? But what you do is you take all of your accounts, right, that you have, the total number of accounts, right, 6.3 million. It's up there in the white box, top right of the screen. You take that and then you subtract all of these from it and you come up with a huge number of leftover. I just calculated it this morning and there are 61,637 accounts that are statistically unaccounted for. All right. You're like, Klaus, whoa, wait a minute. Is that a big deal? Dude, it is a huge deal because in terms of an accuracy metric, all right, an accuracy metric, I'm not talking about like Stellar in terms of like it as like a product. I'm talking more about the accuracy of the data so that we can best analyze the data out there, okay? So 99% accuracy does sound really, really big. All right, like in terms of super accurate, right? If you're 99% accurate, you think you're awesome. No, you suck. And I'm going to show you why. Because when you have data sets like this, okay? And again, let's start off and let's use a real life example out there of people flying. All right, people flying. That's cool. We're doing it during the holidays. And real quick, Khalid says, do you think NDA with partners can be the reason? It's possible, but it's still got to be open ledger. And I'll explain, Khalid, why, even if that is the answer, I'll explain why that really screws things up data-wise and makes it hard to evaluate, all right? So check me out on this. So let's pretend, all right, that when we're talking about data and we're talking about being 99% accurate, because I have proven time and time and time again that the ledger right now, your top line data of base account holders is only 99% accurate. Yeah, I have proven it on camera. I have done it several times. You can do it yourself. Replicate it, all right? Replicate it. All right, so 99% accuracy, though, really sucks, and here's why, okay? And this is a Six Sigma sort of thing, okay? So you just got to kind of just jive your brains a little bit and kind of go in a Six Sigma style of thinking. All right, so let's pretend 10,000 people are flying. Those 10,000 people, let's say there is 99% accuracy in every one of these different steps. 99% accurate that people make it to the right gate, 99% accurate that their flight takes off on time, 99% accurate that the weather doesn't jack you up, blah, 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 blah. After 5 different layers of looking at the data with 99% accuracy, which most people think 99% is good, but I'm telling you, 99% sucks. After 5 layers of 99% rolled through, right, accuracy, we find out that now it is only 95% of the total number of people got to their destination. So now I want you to apply that to Stellar in the data. So right now, if we do data and we start breaking down several different layers of the data, okay, every layer that you go down, you lose accuracy and you lose like kind of pieces, okay? That's crazy, all right? So that accuracy of 95% right there, I want you to apply that to any data or stats in the Stellar network. To properly evaluate things, you can't do it because it's not clean enough. The data is nowhere clean enough. Because think about that. With this example of 5 different layers of queries or questions, which when you think of it, you can think of it data analytics. You want to know how many account holders have 1,000 to 10,000 coins that have been account holders for more than a year that are blah, blah, blah. And see what I mean? So the more layers you put, there you go, okay? So 95% of total made it. That's 1 in 20 missed. So again, that is not a good statistical data pool, and Stellar needs to tighten that up. They actually need to tighten this up to 99.999% at the minimum to even give us data that we can kind of function with and rely on. So with that in mind, I'm going to get to the questions. You guys digest this. I'm going to get to the questions, and I'm going to start answering them for you. And again, if you have any questions, comments, hit it up in the chats. It is just me. My wife is not joining me today. So I am just hitting this up, so let me get caught up. All right, so Khalid says, you have been doing some banger videos lately. Thank you, sir. Messi Leo, right? Leo Messi, right? Buy now or wait for the dip if you guess. Yeah, and don't always try to time the bottom. Like, don't do it. Just cost down average. And again, it's not investing advice. This is just us hanging out talking. But yeah, don't try to time stuff. Just be very like cautious about things. Khalid says, do you think NDA with partners can be for the reason? You know, Khalid, I was thinking about that of 67,000 accounts, because that's what the last time that I did the calculations, and I did them this morning pretty early. I got 61,637 missing. See what I mean? Like that's still a lot. I calculated this super late last night, and I got 61,335 again. So you know what I mean? It is 61,000. That'd be a whole bunch of NDA-based accounts. That would tell you that 1% of the accounts on Stellar's network are private NDA'd. That's nuts. On an open ledger, that's way too high. That's way too high. For us to believe this going forward as a Web 3.0 technology, that's way too high. Let's see. Patriotist1, what's up? Says, XLM price in 2022 May. We're going to have a whole bunch of programs that are going to be launching and a whole bunch of asset holders that are going to be joining the network. My thing, right? I seriously want to get through next year, and I seriously want to be in the 75 cents to $1 range, all right? And I know that sounds low, but remember, we still have headwinds. SEC regulation, we still got Congress that wants more answers, and we still have global, and I think that's what a lot of us have to think about. This is a global thing, okay? So if China freaks out on crypto, or if India freaks out on crypto, or if Germany or Canada or the US freaks out on crypto, it can pull the whole market down with it. So realistically, right, 2022, I want to be at $1 near the end of it because I want to see the utility spread change, all right? And again, this is so far out. This is so inaccurate of a prediction for price. But the reality is these meme coins are starting to lose power. Look at Doge. Doge now is just starting to erode. People are jumping ship. That's what's happening right now. Utility tokens in ISO 20022, that kind of stuff is going to be big, all right? And in terms of like ISO 20022, all right, I want you to think of ISO and Lean Six Sigma work very well together, all right? They do. They're the premises and the thoughts of it are very much the same, okay? And what ISO is basically ISO is you have like a protocol or like a set part of procedures. What your procedures are, you do. Doesn't matter who the worker is, what the computer, module, blah, blah, blah. What you say is what you do, and what you do is what you say. Most companies don't have that, right? Like McDonald's, right? McDonald's is not like ISO like that because guess what? Their burgers aren't all made the same. Each different place, maybe their cheese goes somewhere over here or over here. Maybe they put the lettuce. I mean, you guys know how it is. The accuracy just isn't there. For Stellar to not only go ISO 20022, they're going to have to tighten this up right now. Because 99% accuracy with 5 levels of deviation, right, of 5 layers, right, of multiplying that factor is only giving them 95% total accuracy. That does not fly with ISO 2022, okay? So when I look at this, and Khalid, you're totally right, man. This space regarding utility tokens is super early. I mean, we're like in the 1960s talking about the internet, right? I mean, like, seriously, we are. We're like in the 60s talking, you know, internet, and we're like, oh, this isn't going to be big at all, this is going to suck or it's going to flop. I mean, that's what crypto is right now. We're so many years ahead of the big stuff. We're not SEC regulated and so forth, you know what I mean? So there really is lots left to go in the runway. So let's get back to those questions. So is Bitcoin more safe of an investment than XLM? All right, Patriot, here's my view regarding it, okay? Bitcoin rules the roost in terms of its size, okay? But I just did a video earlier, all right? And I'm gonna see, give me a second, because this is gonna answer this real quick, is I just did a video earlier, and it's this one right here. It's this how big video, okay? This goes over that question exactly. And one of the concerns, all right, and this was a really cool article. It had I think 12 different people on there. Several people said that Bitcoin cannot go to scale, and that Bitcoin is going to have serious problems going forward. The amount of energy it takes Bitcoin to run. And we've already seen that they are freaking out on fossil fuels, right? An overreaction on fossil fuels. They're going big on green energy, even though like lithium batteries and lithium mining is super bad for the environment. Okay, that makes no sense. But think about that, right? So Bitcoin's under fire for how much energy they use. They're also under fire for scalability issues, right? You have to wait for transactions to post. They're not always happening. Bitcoin also has a negative stigma regarding dark market activities, right? So, and there's also the whole Satoshi thing. How many tokens does Satoshi actually own of Bitcoin? So Bitcoin may not be as decentralized as people think if Satoshi actually owns that large of a percentage of it. So in terms of which is going to be long-term, Stellar, I think, is going to have a much more stable growth pattern, right? You're going to see the reverberation slow down, but Bitcoin is going to have, I think, higher highs and lower lows. I think you're going to really see Bitcoin kind of pound around quite a bit. For me, I think XLM is definitely the choice because of its utility. Its utility, its liquidity, scalability, and functionality. The problem is Stellar, right? XLM, it's not well known. And B, it's not well used, right? There's not that many active users of that. And I wanted to bring that up real quick while we were talking about that was how many active users we have in the network, okay? And what I wanted to look at was this one right here was accounts. Recently, we saw a huge spike in active accounts. Well, check this out. You got to make sure you zoom in and look at the data better. Look at that huge spike now. This is that same spike. It was used very heavily for 3 days on the network and then shut down completely. So yeah, pretty sure something's going on because look at this growth and use spike, right? This isn't a growth spike. A growth spike would continue on up. This is what's known as a use case spike, right? Someone used this to do something, a whole bunch of something in this 3-day time period, and then the network went back down to normal, all right? If we look at new assets and trust lines, we could see what the actual issue was. Newly created assets. Yep, newly created assets are what caused the spike here, and that's where when it comes to future growth, scalability, and so forth, Stellar has these things, all right? They do. They have these things. All right, so let's see. Messy Leo says, what do you think about the Aqua drop? All right, I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion. Just swear to God, I'm going to be honest here, okay? Let's do that if you guys don't mind, all right? So let's go to, sorry, my throat is just roasted me here. Let's go to Stellar X. I'm sorry about that. Let's go to Stellar X. And let's go to the Aqua one, all right? So let's go to the automated market makers, Aqua rewards. All right, cool. So let's talk Aqua drop because that is going to be big, okay? So Aqua drop, how do I feel about it? All right, Messi, here you go, man. I'm going to give it to you completely unedited. I don't like it. I simply do not like it. Okay, when I evaluate, okay, a company, a crypto, an equity, a stock, an investment, any sort of evaluation like that, I ask myself a couple questions. Number one, what is the point of it, right? What is its use? Okay, well, in here it says the core use of Aqua is to increase the liquidity on Stellar. Okay, that's not bad. I don't mind that. We plan to achieve this by incentivizing the Stellar decentralized exchange market makers and liquidity providers. Okay, cool. So basically, you're just here to bump up liquidity on Stellar. You're a piggyback. Okay, cool. So then I started asking myself, well, wait a minute. Can this product be replicated better? Yeah, easily. Someone could do a 14 million drop, right? You see what I'm saying? So again, what is going to make this different? Someone could just do the same thing and just drop more tokens and get more meme power, right? Okay. So then I also evaluate a company on, will it be around in a year, 2 years, 3 years, right? Okay. So once they do this drop to improve liquidity, then what? I mean, then what? If they keep dropping tokens over and over and over again, what's going to happen? It's dilution. Right? I mean, isn't that kind of what we talk about with meme coins, right? If they just kind of keep going and going and going, or with fiat, right? If they keep printing. Okay. So I think about, will something be around for 3 years? You think Aqua is going to keep launching rewards? You think once the rewards are over, I'll ask you this based on Aqua, okay? Once the rewards are over for Aqua, who's going to care about it? Yeah, so think about that, right? Once the rewards part, right, or kind of once people realize they have to scale down rewards because you can't just go crazy with inflationary pumping, right? Whether it's coins or cash, you just can't do that. Or I mean, you can, but you'll suffer the consequences. But think about that, right? Once all this hubbub with the Aqua stuff kind of fades, you think there's going to be as much hoopla and interest in it? Right? Is there as much interest in Doge now? And remember, Doge is big compared to Aqua, right? You guys know you couldn't go anywhere without a Doge meme. Doge on the internet, celebrities pumping and shilling the crap. Seriously, it was like that. Now you don't really hear Doge at all. Okay, Aqua's not as big as Doge. personal feeling, I'm not knocking, I'm just giving you guys my honest opinion. I just don't see how the oomph of this is going to last to bring liquidity in, because someone else could make, instead of Aqua, they could make concrete. And concrete, I'm going to give out 14 million, and I'm going to do the same thing. My job is going to provide liquidity to the chain. Okay, then someone's going to beat me with Granite, and then Granite's going to come in and give out 30 million Granite coins to help. You see what I mean? You can build a better mousetrap with this. So I don't see a uniqueness to this that's going to make me think that this is going to last. All right, and that's just my opinion. All right, regarding Aqua and just how those kind of attachment tokens and stuff works. All right, so just kind of think of it that way. So I hope that helped you guys out with the answers regarding Aqua and kind of like how I feel regarding Aqua. So let's see. Cleed says, anyone in this space has to look at the utility point of view. We will see by 2025. And Khalid, like, I think we're going to see the utility view even faster, okay? Because the way I see this, I think, playing out is I could see Congress kind of splitting this up a little bit, all right? And this was brought up at the Congress hearing of maybe having like a PG-13, R-rated coins, like that, a ranking system or a rating system to let people know like how risky, dangerous, backed, and so forth. But what we saw right away with Congress was this understanding that there's utility tokens, meme tokens, and other tokens. The utility tokens, I could see them separating that from the whole pool out there. We're talking about all the ISO ones. We're talking about all the ones with clawback protocol, all the tokens out there that were built around Visa, PayPal, international remittance sort of things, right? They use those framework guidelines to build their products. I easily could see that separating quicker than 2025. Very easily could see it way quicker than that. Because I really think that once Congress sees, hey, wait a minute, these companies, these tokens are just as compliant as PayPal, if not more, just as compliant, if not more, than Visa, right? Visa's allowed, so why can't we allow that? You will see those utility ones get funneled through faster because it's easier to prove their use case. All right, so let's see. Silver 99 says, in silver, when is silver and gold going to hit? With all this inflation concern, when are precious metals going to pop? It's frustrating. But anyway, Silver 99 says, do you see the XLM drop below 25 cents in the next days? Well, let's do this. Anything can happen. Like I said, Elon Musk could say crypto sucks ass, and then all of a sudden the whole market will tank, right? So, I mean, it's totally possible. Statistically possible? Oh, yeah. So let's do this. Let's just blow this out just for 5 days real quick for you. And right now we're talking about, can XLM go to that 25 cent mark? Well, if we look at it right now, and let's just kind of zoom out a little bit here. Let's go. Yeah, see, we were under 25 on December 17th. So if you don't think XLM is going to stay, no, it could easily hit 25 again. So if that is your target buy right now, you can easily see that, because think, just a few days ago we had it. Now look at your resistance points, all right? You did see a near-term resistance point at 25.1, but look, it broke it here. It broke it here. All right, now we're at December 11th. We're again at December 14th. So, I mean, yeah, every couple days, it seems you have a chance of sub 25 action. So, seriously, the opportunities are out there for you to load up, cost down average, and all that kind of fun stuff. All right, let's see. Patriots 1 says, looking to buy in mid-January, market lowest then. Here's the problem, Patriots. You're going to have an influx of cash in the U.S. market very, very soon, because remember, it's tax return season. Yeah, think about that. Think about people have not been getting the stimmy checks from the government. So the next big influx, people that already have like savings and so forth, I could easily see them dumping in the crypto market, knowing that it did not crash. We didn't have a crypto winter. It is still way too big right now. Crypto winter is over. Genie's out of the bottle. Cat's out of the bag, whatever the heck you want to say, I do. So in terms of getting the best price, here's the problem. If we start seeing a whole bunch of people applying tax return money to stocks, cryptos, and so forth, yeah, you could see a huge price bump up from some short-term popularity action. All right, so Patriots 1 says XLM 17 to 22 cents next month. What's going to be interesting, though, Patriots, is the more that the public, all right, and Congress and businesses and all that get informed And the more this MoneyGram project starts launching, and the more this MoneyGram project starts creating more asset holders, all right, which is this chart right here, all right, more asset holders, that can start separating Stellar from the pool. And I have the most recent stuff up right now. You could see they're having a big ramp up of new asset holders, and I see this pattern continuing in the next few months. I really do. So it's kind of hard to say, because at the beginning of the year, you could have huge tax return money pumping in. Because remember, the child tax credit was bumped up way higher for 1 year. So yes, even if people got payouts early, there's still a huge amount that they will get back on their returns. So kind of think about that, all right? All right. So Kevin Riley says, tough times for a Lumen lover. It looks like I'll be tax loss harvesting mine and buy it back in a month. Yeah, if you think you're safe in a month to tax harvest that's not a bad strategy, especially if you have enough liquidity in your own, your own portfolio to where you can avoid any tax loss harvesting. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, if you sell in under a year, you can take short-term loss. You can write it off on your gains on your taxes. Pretty simple. So people that they have taken a bath, what they do is they sell it. They take the loss, right, from selling it, but whatever that amount is that they lost, right, they then write that off on their taxes. They then take that same amount of money, buy the same tokens back as long as the price stays the same in the month. Yeah, that's how it has to work, right? Or whatever time period you want to do. And then they just buy back. So they have the same number of tokens, but now they took a tax loss on it, and they just have to hold longer to get that back. So that's kind of what we're talking about here. Patriot says Bitcoin will be 35,000 next month. Bitcoin, I think, has got some worse stuff coming ahead of it than Stellar. I really do. The thing, though, that's saving Bitcoin's butt right now, and I'm telling you guys, this is the truth. The thing that is saving Bitcoin's butt right now is the fact that they did that program with El Salvador. I'm telling you that right now. That is what's saving their butt, is the El Salvador use case is proving. It's not proving that it's efficient, all right? I'm going to be real with you guys. It's expensive. They're having some scalability issues, but they're proving as a society, like as a function, as an on and off ramp, it's working. So again, Bitcoin is paving the way for us going forward. What you're seeing with Bitcoin, right, and how Bitcoin and El Salvador are working, and let's just kind of throw up a comparison in here of Bitcoin. What you're seeing with that is that Bitcoin is paving the road for El Salvador, just like we're seeing, right, the Ukraine and the Canadian VCAD with Stellar. Right? That concept is there, and it's happening, and it's now going to go a step further. So once the VCAD really starts taking off, and once the Ukrainian one starts taking off, then you're going to start seeing those countries start talking about creating that as a legal tender, right? Yeah, see, and that's how this is going to work. So utility is going to rule the roost. Meme's got a lot of money right now. Your Ethereum, your Bitcoins, they got a lot of money right now, but gas fees are killer. Gas fees are killer right now. All right, they are. They're just nasty. I just did a video today, okay? And again, if you're watching this right now, I put out 2 crazy good videos today. I have to admit, they're actually really, really good quality-wise. I put out 2 crazy videos, how big, and then missing account follow-up with Patrick Starr. Love Patrick Starr, Dr. Professor Patrick Starr. But regarding Bitcoin, telling you right now, in Ethereum, that was one of the big topics in this article, is that Ethereum will not be able to make it because of gas fees. They're fixing their transaction issues, right? Their transaction scalability capability with their second layer protocol, but they cannot fix the gas fees. See, and that's where scale utility stuff starts coming into play. That's why for me with Stellar, I keep telling everyone I am long, because I see over time this is going to spread from the rest of the tokens out there. The rest of the tokens are going to fail. They're going to .com like the late 90s, and they're going to fail. Where your utility coins, right, that have clawback. The utility coins that are as compliant, if not more, than Visa and PayPal. Yeah, like Stellar. Yeah, that's why I'm into it. I have done my due diligence, and don't get me wrong, I understand the price sucks, all right? I'm telling you all right now, I wish I had a more Merry Christmas price-wise, but it doesn't change for me the fundamentals of how this marketplace is going to separate itself. All right, the winners will separate themselves. And all these people, all right, I want you to look at Doge, all right? Screw it. Let's add Doge to this because everyone wants to know, how do meme coins rule the roost? Well, let's make Doge red just for some clarity here. Look at that. Doge has been the biggest loser. That's my point. And if you blow it out a little bit further, check this out. Now look at this. Doge is an even bigger loser. Right? In a 3-month time period, Stellar's only down 1%. Doge is down 15.5%. That's what I'm saying. Meme is starting to lose its power. I'm telling you, meme is starting to lose its power. It's crazy. You're seeing it happen right now. All right, so let's get back to the comments. You guys have been doing awesome. If you could, just throw me a like, visit the page, right? Check out our stuff here, right? But yeah, if you got questions, comments, hit me up in the chats in early live stream today, everyone. We want to go over everything from data analytics to pricing. If you guys want to start talking about 6 Sigma data deviation, all right, 5 Sigma, 3 Sigma, whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter to me. If you guys want us to talk about statistical deviation and why the Stellar network is going to be hampered by that going forward and why investments in Stellar are going to be hampered going forward, ask those questions. I can explain it to you. It's really, really cool stuff. So let's see. Khalid says, I think Congress already knows, but they're playing politics. Khalid, there are some people that are playing politics in Congress. There were a few people. I watched the whole congressional hearing. It was super long. It was over 4 hours. There were some people in there. They were playing politics. And you could tell they sounded ignorant and dumb as all hell. Swear, it was bad. Some of them sounded stupid. They're pre-written statements that were just some pulpit talking crap point. There was nothing in there. Those people, gone, all right? Screw them. The majority of people, though, in Congress understood so much better, right, than what we thought. We thought this was going to be bashing on crypto. Let's just rip crypto to pieces. No, the majority of Congress was into it. And they weren't playing politics. They were more making sure that people don't get screwed and the system makes sense. Because remember, Congress is pretty pissed at the whole FANG company thing. Because they've seen how FANG companies, right, control the media, control outcomes of things. Whether you're Democratic, Republican, Independent, don't give a crap, we're all pissed that these companies have way too much control. Web 3.0 going forward, crypto, blockchain, decentralization, DeFi is a way to get control back to us, right? Control back to the government. Because remember, this pisses the government off because now the government doesn't have control of information. So yes, there are some politics involved, but it is way less than what we thought. It was way less, and that was really, really cool to see. Let's see. Messy Leo says, what would you take, 1 XRP or 3 XLM? I would take 3 XLM because the upside is higher. Plain and simple. And there's actually more transactions run on the Stellar network than there are on the Ripple network. And Stellar does not have a lawsuit pending against it. Ripple does. There's a lot of legal implications that happen with that regarding investability and liquidity. Yes, I would rather take 3 XLM. All right. Let's see. Patriot says, isn't the U.S. tax coming in February, not January? Yeah, but you got a whole bunch of people that do the advanced stuff. They do, right? Once you've seen it. Okay, I'm telling you, you'll even see it at the end of like this year. You'll see people that will like pre-file with like the, like the H&R blocks and where they give them like the advanced checks. You see that earlier and earlier every year because people are hurting for the money and they need it. So they take those like upfront loans based on their tax return getting approved based on the data that they provide. So yeah, although it is, I think it's February or January 31st is when all the forms have to be mailed out to the recipients. But you do see people file way, way early. So yes, that influx can happen pretty quickly. Let's see. So Messy Leo says, very good show, sir. Well, thank you. Very good fans and very good name. I like Messy. I'm not the tallest guy. I'm only 5'7", so I dig them shorter guys out there. I get that. Big soccer fan too, by the way. Let's see. Khalid says, Bitcoin is being saved by Tether. Wait till that bubble pops. Very true. Very true. Ask yourself, what will Bitcoin be like in the future? And that's kind of what I'm wondering right now is how much can Bitcoin be saved in the future by that? Silver99 says, you deserve so much attention. Well, I appreciate that. But I'll be honest with you, Silver. I am glad for the attention and support that I have now. I'm a super humble person. But reading that, I do. That's a sincere appreciation. So thank you for that, Silver99. That was cool, man. I like reading stuff like that. Patriot says, Bitcoin is the granddaddy of cryptos. It's like McDonald's and fast food. And Patriot, you're right. McDonald's product sucks. but they have how much marketing? Like you said, they're the granddaddy, they're the OG, you know what I mean? But remember, Stellar's an OG chain too. They're just not as OG, right? They don't have as much street cred. But it's true, McDonald's product sucks, their food sucks, the quality sucks. They're not reliable, they're not repeatable. Their staff is very thin right now because of market issues, which causes their turn time, blah, blah, blah. But yet they still make a ton of money. Yep, Bitcoin falls in that same category. The only problem is, though, is that the Bitcoin category takes so much more and more and more energy to run. Whereas McDonald's is becoming more efficient, Bitcoin, we're not seeing that. The core use of their protocol, right? Their consensus protocol it's not favorable to energy. It's just not. It's just physically how it is. Let's see, Patriot says, or Khalid says, if we look at what's going on in the rest of the world with certain cryptos, you will see the future. And that is very true. That is very true. For those of us out there that are from the United States and Canada watching this, all right, what's weird is that for us out here, crypto is still like super new. But for countries like Ukraine, a lot of European ones, a lot of Latin American countries are very familiar with crypto because of Bitcoin, all right? So yeah, it's very different. There are different parts of the world that are adapting faster than us. All right, I want you to think of Ukraine, Canada. They have their own. They're built. Canada, look at them. Canada's like they're in pilot phase of VCAD. They're up and running VCAD right now, starting to see how it works. So yeah, we're there, man. We are there. Let's see. Messi says, can you say some words about XDC? I don't know. What would you like me to say about XDC? No, I really don't pay enough attention to that, so I don't want to just like shoot something out just to like make someone like, feel happy or good about it. It's just not one of the things that I look into often. So let's see, Silver 99, what's going on football club tokens recently? I don't pay attention to that. I really stick with this kind of stuff here. So no, I don't know. I'll answer anything Stellar related. Like I got you guys there, but I mean, football tokens, that's not really my thing. But yeah, one of the things I also wanted to look at and was to get everyone caught up on, okay, was in the actual holders distribution chart. I have been charting this, and I have actually been charting the whale trackers, right? I built a whale tracker, really, really cool. I charted what this distribution chart looks like, okay? And for any of you that are watching right now that did not see what the whole big fire about Stellar is right now, right? There's a huge background noise being created, and I kind of get to blame for that one. But it's this. I took this chart right here of holders, so you could see between 0.1 to 10 XLM in holders, there's 5.1 million. 10 XLM to 1,000 is 897,000. These look the same, but they're not. The actual distribution of what asset holders look like of the native token is this right here, okay? This yellow one is representative of people that own 0.1 to 10 lumens. 81% of asset holders out there hold that. 14% hold 10 to 1,000, represented by the green, and 3.68% are represented by the red that own up to 100,000 lumens. All right, 100,000 lumens. So what you can see right here is between these three, 98% of people, of native token asset holders, have between 0.1 to 100,000 lumens. Pretty interesting, huh? So the majority of accounts are small. Just kind of think about it that way, all right? That looks very, very different than the data we saw represented like this, all right? So just kind of food for thought, everyone out there. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Let's see. Ben R. And hey, just to let you guys know, Ben is one of our members. Ben, again, super thank you, sir. As you saw in the cool video I sent you yesterday, I sent it out for you. So yeah, pretty cool. It says, hello, sir. I think Stellar has been silently playing a clever game. They seem to be getting the fundamentals right before the first big media push. I'm sure there's a big moonshot coming. All right, Ben, glad you brought that up, okay? And you're very well plugged into the channel. You kind of know the vibe we're going, so I'll kind of help everyone out with what, because you and I have been talking about stuff. Stellar has 2 billion lumens in their marketing account. 2 billion. I think they've used, and I did a video on it. I don't know offhand what it is, but there is a video on it. I think they have like 1.945 billion lumens left for marketing. They have not spent money on marketing, period. All right. And Ben's got a good point. Okay. There's two different ways to run a business. And what's up, Frederick? What's up, man? But Ben's right. There's two different ways to run a business. Okay. Stellar is building the building blocks first before they ramp up. Okay, they're in the preventative medicine approach of building a business. Other businesses out there will market the hell out of it, cause problems, and then fix those problems. Okay, neither is right, neither is wrong. It depends on what your market is that you're applying your strategy to and what fits for you. Stellar does not want to stumble. The reason Stellar doesn't want to stumble is because to become the global payment standard leader, which is what they said in Meridian 2021, Donnell Dixon said that at the end of Meridian 2021, by 2025, Stellar, the global payment standard. For that to happen, they have to build all these systems ahead of time, try to figure and work proof it all. All right, that has to happen so that when they do launch, they launch successfully. Because how much would it suck, right? If Stellar had all these programs, right? Like the VCAD and the Ukraine one. And then when they launched them, it fumbled. That would be horrible, right? When the El Salvador Bitcoin project launched, people were burning down ATMs because that was their off-ramp was Bitcoin ATMs. They were burning down Bitcoin ATMs. There was a whole bunch of weird stuff going on. It was isolated, but it was really, really weird. That really scared people. They were like, well, wait a minute. A whole society's not adapting to crypto. This is messed up. And it shook the price of Bitcoin, right? Stellar does not want to go through that. So whereas El Salvador, Bitcoin, and the Chiva wallet, that whole project was screw it. Once we find a problem, we'll fix it. Stellar is doing it beforehand. They're like, let's fix everything now so that when we do launch, hey, all is good in the hood, man. So that's kind of what you guys got to think about with how the two different ways of business are. So Ben Art, thank you for the question or for the comment, because you're right. There's two different ways to look at it, and Stellar is looking at it as the preventative medicine way. Now, Ben, I'm going to be honest though with you, all right, man? What bugs me though, all right, is deviation from center in terms of data analytics. Stellar's data right now with Stellar Expert. Now, mind you, this is available to everyone, okay? So other people investing are doing stuff like this. I'm telling you right now, big investment groups are chomping through the data to see if the data is valid. That is the first thing you do. When you look at a business, when you look at buying a business, when you look at doing a corporate takeover, I have done several mergers. I can tell you this is what you do. You go through the stuff and you actually go through the financials and operations data line by line by line yourself with your own analyst. You don't trust their data because their data is wrong. You make your own and you make it as tight as you can, okay? So this public ledger, right? All of this information right here, this is what a lot of people are using for their core analytics. When you look at their accuracy of all of this data right here, and this is their top line, this is their single top line, which is asset holders, that's top line in terms of a data query. That data is only 99% accurate. As you tier down on that, okay, and this is where Stellar needs to improve. As you tier down, your accuracy starts stripping away, right? Stripping away. After 5 different queries of being 99% accurate, which 99% sounds like a lot. No, it sucks. After 5 levels of query, all right, at 99% accuracy, you only end up being 95% accurate, or 1 in 20 are messed up. In terms of data analytics, 1 in 20 is crap. It is crap. That will not satisfy big scale investors. I'm telling you right now, big investment firms have 6 Sigma data analytics people working for them that crunch this stuff themselves. All right. They are doing exactly what I'm doing right now, and they're doing it to an even further scale. I mean, I could do it to a further scale too, but I think people would think it's boring as hell to watch. But you can totally go through this. All right. That is one of the big problems going forward. So for Stellar to be a powerhouse, their public data, all right, the data to us, the data to other investors, right? Remember, Stellar wants to be for everyone. This data has to get cleaner and it has to get tighter, and it has to get tighter 3 to 4 decimal points deeper than where they're at now for people to even consider it really valid data. All right, same thing. When you go to ISO style manufacturing and ISO compliance, remember, what you say is what you do, and what you do is what you say. With Stellar's data, what they say is not what they do, and what they do is not what they say by an error of 1%. All right, 1%. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, ask me in the questions. I'll explain it better, but not a big deal. All right. Let's see. Money trees, or I'm sorry. Octavio says, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to catch up. It's just me here on the comments. I don't got my wife hanging out with me today, so I just want to make sure I'm good with the comments. Octavio says, I wonder what Michael Saylor will do if Bitcoin crashes. I hope he's secretly, I guarantee you Michael Saylor's diversified. I think he's just pumping the whole, like, the Bitcoin thing, because I think he wants to seem like he's right of everyone, right? Because remember, there's some big egos out there, right, in the finance world. You've got Musk and Bezos playing whose is bigger than whose. I mean, like, we're seeing it public, right? I mean, dude, like, launched up in a rocket showing off his wristwatch. Like, dude, come on, man. You don't need to flex. We already know you're the richest dude. So, yeah, I think Saylor is diversified. I just think he's playing this because it's getting him a lot more notoriety, picking his thing. All right. Let's see. Money Tree says, is it possible to set Stellar trust lines on a hardware wallet Loom Swapper Vault? You know, I honestly don't know because I'm not a hardware wallet person. That's probably a shame on me. Maybe that's something I need to get into and I need to learn so that I can help people out there too, and just kind of work through it. But I bet you I do have some people in the chats right now that could answer that. So if you are in the chats, all right, go see if you can help me out with what Money Tree said, where is it possible to get all this stuff on a hard wallet? Again, I'm not a hard wallet guy. I don't even focus on that at all. I'm keeping things digital. It's a long story. All right. So Frederick says, howdy. What's up, Frederick? John Niner says, hello, Klaus. What's up, John? How are you doing? Ben R, I got your video. Thank you so much. No problem, man. It's least I could do. Least I could do. Patriots1 says, should my dad sell his house to buy XLM and go all in? No way. No way, man. You need a roof over your head. That roof over your head is where it's at. No, what people do with your money, man, that's up to you guys, right? I'm XLM is one of my real big holdings. Not big holdings total, but on my crypto side, it's one of my real big ones. I have one that I've recently put a ton of money in. I'm not going to say because I'm not shilling. There's none of that. But I do have something that I just put a crap ton of money into that is not Stellar, but I have a ton in Stellar. I had extra cash. I went and I actually bought something in addition to. I diversified even myself. Kind of cool. So no, don't sell your house. You still need a roof over your head, man. Gosh, you need housing. Unless you want to live in a tent, but I wouldn't recommend that. All right. Messy Leo says, can the SEC go after XLM? The SEC can go after anyone they think is in violation. What the SEC is going after with Ripple is not the same with XLM. It's not the same. There's two totally different demons. It's literally like saying, can someone sue me for something and then sue you for the same thing? Well, if you did the same thing as me, then yeah, they could sue you for it. Stellar did not do the same thing as Ripple. All right, so no, I don't see that. In fact, it is going to be very hard for the SEC to tackle Stellar, considering Stellar, you're going to love this, is more compliant than Visa and PayPal. Oh, yeah. So even if they do go after Stellar, kind of hard to go after someone who's more compliant than someone that you're saying already is globally compliant. PayPal and Visa. Interesting. All right. Maparta says, and hey, Klaus, what's up? How are you doing? Bob Spade says, tell us what you bought. No, I can't. No. I did. I put a ton of money in. It is now my largest crypto holding, and it's really, maybe in the future I'll do it, but not now. This is my kind of like my reason, and it's my personal one too. Like this for me is public because I believe in the mission. So that's why I like cover this, but the other, that's kind of personal. I don't want to go into that. It maybe in the future I might, but not right now. So thank you though, Bob, for asking. Ask me about it. Says, what's your timeline for XLM to start moving up? God's honest truth. It's when it happens, it happens. And I could easily see it happening soon as long as these utility coins start pulling away. 2022 is big. And I'm not saying that 2021 wasn't, but 2021 was huge. The problem was we're so early in it that 2021 still had so much gross mess, right? It's not regulated by the SEC. You had hundreds of millions stolen off of different coins and this and that. So the reality is this will move forward the faster the world moves forward with regulation and acceptance. What is going to help Stellar, though, separate themselves is going to be this right here. And let me see if I have this chart available real quick. Actually, I don't, but I can find it. Give me a second here. Let's go to Mr. Nasty. Yep, that's what I have that. And we're going to go to Stellar Miscellaneous. And I think it's chart 4. Let me see. Yep, it's chart 4. What's going to happen, okay, is that this right here this is how much they normally grow in terms of asset holders. With the MoneyGram and all that, that's going to bolster up this right here. So you could easily see the market pulling forward as Stellar separates themselves growth-wise. Because historically, March to April is in March to June, let's say. This 4-month time period is their slowest in their history period for all years of data. I have all the years of data for Stellar on here. If they now change these to start looking like these, the market is going to notice. The data analytics will start being out there and will start getting out there. Let's see here. We got Maparta says, I actually leave less than 25% in YXLM when I feel crazy. Yeah, it is. And I think people are rotating, and that's where the swaps are coming into play. For those of you that don't know regarding swaps and so forth, what's really cool about swaps, and you know what? Let's change this. Let's go to night mode. Just my eyes have been bugging me a little bit. With swaps, what's really cool is you're right. You can jump back and forth and use these pools and use these swaps without having to worry about the crazy on and off ramps where you start losing in fees. So not only are you able to play, right, versus fiat, you can play against spreads of tokens. And if you put in that liquidity pool, you can also now earn fees based on the liquidity provided. And Bob, I know you're big on that. So, I mean, it is. There's a really bunch of cool stuff out there. All right, Money Tree says, wait, what? More compliant than Visa? Where can I read about this? I'll try to get you the article for it. I've read like millions and millions of articles, not to sound weird, but like, I don't want to show you my favorites because there's stuff in there that no one's seen yet. But yeah, there is. It's out there, and it's in the congressional hearing too. It is. PayPal and Visa, and it has to do with this. Because of the transaction speed of Stellar, they're a lot safer. Think of whenever you send money with PayPal, it takes more time than Stellar's network, especially across, right, globally, right? Globally we're talking about? Yeah, so a lot safer when the data is not hanging out there for longer. I'll see if I can find the articles offhand. I have hundreds of articles. I'll try to find it. Really cool stuff regarding that. Ask me about it. Says I've been holding for 3 years. Yeah, you got in way, way early. You got in at the inception phase, inception phase. I don't know. I guess I'll say inception phase. You got in at the inception phase, and yeah, I mean, you've done good. Don't get me wrong. You've done really good. But now, right? Okay, because here's one thing. Let's talk about like you did. You got in 3 years ago. Let's just talk about that. All right, let's talk about that. And let's go to the chart and let's clean this up. Let's get rid of Bitcoin. Let's get rid of Doge. Let's go to 5 years for Stellar. All right. So check this out, right? And let's take this line and let's delete that. Okay. So this is what we're looking at since what? 2015, 2017, 2016. I got December 2016 up. What everyone was worried about was this. We were going to have a huge spike and then just go to right now. Again, this pattern looks very similar. The big difference is it's the adaptability and the volume, okay? Look at the volume during this last phase after the last explosive climb, okay? Now look at it compared to this. Very different. Look at your volume lines here versus what you're seeing here. More liquidity, more belief, more usability, more scalability. It's huge, man. It is huge. So yeah, am I worried about a crypto winter? No, because look at the volume that is still holding this. And look at the tightness too. We're starting to see tight points here where people are starting to hit this back up. So pretty interesting how this is going. Let's see. Octavio says, Xlm will go up in value when Congress makes laws that give clarity and then institutions will flood in. And Octavio, you are 100% right, because guess what? Who has not gotten into XLM? Hedge funds. Yeah, and hedge funds have billions and billions and billions of dollars. I did in one of the first videos I did of this channel, not first videos, but like earlier videos, was how hedge funds haven't even gotten into XLM. And it was some crazy statistic, like 90-something% of hedge funds said that they're going to be heavy into crypto by 2025. So remember, hedge funds aren't going to get into this until the SEC gives it the green lights, all right? Just throwing it out there, all right? That is just how it works, okay? So once the SEC does give the green light, and Octavio is 100% right, once the SEC does give the green light, bam, now you're also talking 401k money, IRA money. Once, again, the SEC says, hey, green light, many, many different things can come into play. Let's see here. Ask me about it. Says, do you think it's possible for XLM to ever reach the $10 plus target? Easily. Think of where price is right now, and no one knows about XLM. Think of the price right, and this is terms of like use and function, okay? I don't want you guys to get lost on meme tokens and like the power that Doge and all that stuff. Don't worry about that, all right? I want you to think about use case. The problem is when you look at these I'm going to show you guys active accounts in orange. There's just really not that many active accounts. But for Stellar becoming the global standard, which their whole chain has been built for that. Their chain has been built for the payment corridor, right, for the remittance system. Once that starts happening and taking off with new asset holders, and if we go back to our data, not only new asset holders, but maybe more asset holders that aren't in yellow, but more in the green and red, right? That are holding more than just 0.1 lumens, right? Once we see that, that's when you could easily see that $10 price. I don't really foresee much that could stop that in the long term if Stellar stays on plan. Now, if they don't stay on plan, and they screw themselves or shoot themselves in the foot with some God knows what, yeah, obviously we could have a problem. But my personal opinion here is that, honestly, it's these projects that are coming through that are going to propel Stellar going forward, and it is going to separate them from the market. I think that is huge. Ben R says, Klaus, what crypto coins do you hold? Is most of your portfolio in Stellar? Okay, I will tell you. So I just recently, okay? I just recently bought big into something. I won't say what it is, okay? But until that point, Stellar was my biggest holding. So let's just eliminate the thing that I just bought, and let's talk about the rest of my holdings. Stellar is my biggest. I am an XRP. I do have some XRP. I do have some Bitcoin. I do have some Ethereum. And I do have some SHIB. The reason I have SHIB is that is my most riskiest play. It's kind of a crap play, but it's a risky one. I don't have much in there. But it's something where, hey, if it does ever take off, I at least am insulated to earn something from it, right? So XLM is definitely my biggest holding because I believe in the utility of it, all right? So with the exception of what I just bought, XLM was my biggest holding by a very large amount in crypto. We're not talking stocks, commodities, hard, digital, electronic, just the crypto sphere of the portfolio. Money Tree says, thanks, love your channel. You know, dude, love the fans. So, no, I appreciate it. And thank you for the comment and the support. And for those of you guys that don't know, we do have a membership section on the page. Like I said, it's really cool. We got 2 people that have already signed up for the members. What I find really, really neat about this is that you guys and your support has been huge. So I'm not going to brag about that anymore because that's not what the point of this is. But what I wanted to bring you guys to is to the community tab. If you guys could just roll through the community tab, I've got votes on there. I've got a whole bunch of different things, all right? A whole bunch of different things that you guys can check out. Really, really neat stuff on there. The other thing, if you guys good too, all right? I did a video. It is not pushed by the algorithms because it is not a video. If you guys could check out this Web 3.0 video, I would totally appreciate it. If you guys could drop a comment, a like, help me spread that Web 3.0 video. It is important. It is super important for everyone to watch out there because it affects all of us, all right? It affects all of us. Mapartis says, I think $2.50 is a possible target for 2022. If Bitcoin doesn't enter, even if Bitcoin does enter bear territory, at some point the market is going to be like, yeah, we're not all Bitcoin. And investors are going to think that. Right now, the average investor, like as a whole, the average investor isn't smart enough to understand the differentiation of coins. Remember, those of us that are watching, right, that are all hanging out right now, we got a pretty good understanding of what's going on in the crypto sphere. The majority of the public just thinks like crypto is just tokens. It's really weird, right? They don't understand the technology. They don't understand scalability issues, gas fees, and so forth. So as the consumer and the investor start getting more into it, oh yeah, I mean it's totally a sky's the limit kind of play because it's no one knows now, understands the function of it now. We're that far ahead. So people out there, it's still early. A lot of headwinds left, but a lot of runway left to make some great things happen. Aparta says, judging by the log chart, yeah, log scale. No, and you're totally right. The other thing you have to think about too is when the hits happen, and let's just look at Stellar's. Oh crap! Why did I do that? Let's just look at Stellar's last 2 hits. Okay, they're big runs. You're talking again, right? December, late year running up, and again we had a late year run up. Are we getting to that next step now? Are we going to be entering another late year, early year run up? All right. Kind of curious about that, okay? I think that's where you guys are right. You guys are thinking the same thing I am. What is the potential hit going on next, right? Are we going to have another run-up like we did in the wintertime? We have seen that. Are we going to have another run-up if Stellar starts just cranking out stuff? Yeah, something to think about, Octavio says no Algorand. No Algorand. If you think I should really get into it, let me know. The problem is that I have a lot of holdings in equities and commodities, all right? So when I look at investments, let's just pretend, right? Make it easy math. Let's just say I got $100. Not all 100 is going into one thing. I've got a pie that I slice it out to, and I'm not talking about like a meat Kevin pie, none of that crap. I've got kind of like my own thing that I kind of do that I slice it out on at different price points. So I don't just take that 100 and always buy the same things. When I have X money, I then look at, okay, which one of these are at my price target, and that's what I go at. So over time, I just haven't, you know what I mean? I just haven't gotten to the algo. It's not on my radar yet. I actually have a list of things that once this, and this get to this, and this price, I pull the trigger on. And I actually have a list that I work down, and I just start cost down averaging on all those. So it's just how I do it. Messi says, can XLM be $1,000 coin in 10 years? Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's all possible. And okay, so let's talk about the functionality of $1,000 coin. Remember, part of the problem is that you need to have how many lumens to open a wallet? 3, right? So if you'd have $3,000, remember, that'll push a lot of people away. That'll push a ton of people away, all right? But you can always launch a protocol vote, which changes the number of lumens you need in a wallet, right? So there is a way around that. Yes, there is. Now, will there be some lag time to that? Yeah, you better believe it. They're not going to be able to just crank that out right away. So yes, if Stellar doesn't all of a sudden like meteoric rise, there's going to have to be some network fixing to get it all to work, right? To kind of make it work in a functional sense. Because you can't have $1,000 lumen and then expect people, right, when they want to open up a wallet to have 3 lumens in there, because who in developing nations are going to be able to afford 3,000 to start a wallet up? It's just not going to work. Ben says, when will you tell us what you have just bought and why? All right, Ben, you are a member. How about I message you? Is that cool? Like if you, it's private. Let me, hold on. I'll message you. I'll tell you why, dude. I think it's fair. Give me a second. Let me just make a note here, Ben. I will message you. I'll tell you why. All right. Give me a second. So message Ben about new holding. All right. All right, cool. All right, I got you, Ben. All right, so I will do that. Ben, I will let you know. I will email you privately. I got your email. I hope you don't mind. But yeah, so that's what we're talking about right now. We're talking all things Stellar. We're talking price probabilities. We're also talking about investors. We're also talking about some 6 Sigma stuff, 3 Sigma stuff, 1 Sigma stuff. whatever the hell you guys want to talk about. It depends on how many decimals you want to roll, right? We're talking about statistical accuracy and statistical deviation of data sets. We could talk it all on this channel. But the big things, though, that I wanted to bring out, okay, is I did a video today was this how big one right here. And what I want to do is I'm going to bring that article up on the screen for everyone, all right? So even though I'm showing you right now, it still means you should go back and watch it, right? So I know it's kind of weird because I'm going to spoil the beans here on this. But what was really cool, so when I did this article, right, and I just did this piece on here, and let's go to Immersive Reader so I don't have all the crap on there. What's really neat was they had a whole bunch of people on here, a whole bunch of big crypto people, right? Important people talk about what is it going to take to get crypto to be mainstream, right? How is crypto going to be just as popular as cash? What was really interesting about this article was even though they said, how is it going to be as big as cash? They're talking about problems, all right? They're talking about mass adoption, saying Bitcoin will have problems with mass adoption because the scalability, they can't handle the transactions. Ethereum, they brought up in here, is another one, all right? They talk about Ethereum saying, hey, guess what? Ethereum is having problems with gas fees. So what the heck can we do? People can't afford Ethereum. It's too much friggin' money for gas fees on that. So really neat to see. This article was awesome to read. It is in the latest video. If you look for that video, it is how big? Yeah, how big? Yep. How big can this stuff get with mass adaptation? All right. Ask me about it. And what's up, Ask Me About It? How are you doing? XLM is the way it was able to complete a life goal of opening my own restaurant with stellar profits. Whoa. Holy crap, dude. That's cool. Good. That's awesome. That is a very cool use case. And now I'm patiently waiting for it to allow me to retire. Ask me about it. I'm glad to hear that no, Randall Royal, I'll get to that. Give me a second, Randall Royal. I'll get to that, all right? Ask me about it. That's really cool. So what was really cool about that is you had some profits and you took them. That was smart. You took them and you turned it into something hard, right? You took the liquidity, you turned it into something hard That's really cool, man. That's awesome. Good for you. Ask me about it. If you ever want, email me. I will gladly promote your restaurant on here. I think that's a cool success story. Email me. I'll help you out with that. If that's something you want to do, I'll gladly help you out with that. Like free. I'm not even talking about it. I'll gladly plug it or if you have like an online thing, because I think that's a really cool story. So good for you. Thank you for sharing that with us. Let's see. Ben R says yes. Messages me, Ben. I will take care of it sometime today, all right? And I'll take care of it. I got a few things I got to tackle, but I will make sure I let you know. And I'll tell you why too, Ben. So Rana Royal says $10,000 Lumen would equal $1 per Stroop. All right, yes, Stroops, fees, and the amounts used per transaction. But Rana, what would the problem be though to start a new wallet, right? You kind of see the issue. Starting a new wallet, if you still required like the 3 lumens, 1 lumen, that would be expensive for a lot of developing nations. All right. So, and you're right on a Stroop level, right? $1 a Stroop is nothing, right? I mean, dude, you're totally right. You're like, hey, just saying. You're right. $1 Stroop is nothing. That's when you look at what people are paying right now for MoneyGram fees and all the other ACH based fees. That makes $1 a Stroop look like cheaper than anything else out there. So, yeah, really, really neat to think about it that way. But just Rano, think about how we would have to change in the protocol level, how much it would cost to start a wallet, and then how that would translate if they would ever change the Stroops. You see what I mean? So yeah, if you guys know what we're talking about, sorry about that. We're just talking about the underlying mechanics of Stroops and fees on the Stellar network. All right. Money Tree says this. What do you think of this idea of banks and institutions letting regular people like us hold our XLM staking it so that there are massive amounts of liquidity for when adoption happens? So, Money Tree, would you be talking more about single-sided liquidity where all you do is you say, hey, instead of a pool where I'm owning, say, XLM native and YXLM, you want to just say hold XLM, right? Like as a single-sided liquidity. Let me know if that's what you're talking about. If it is, that is what Stellar brought up in Meridian 2021. That their big thing going forward. So right now, and just to get everyone caught up to speed on that, okay, when you look at liquidity, all right, when you look at staking, oh, I hate using that word. But when you look at donating into liquidity pools, right, and not donating, but when you start participating in liquidity pools, right now on Stellar, you have to participate in a pair, right? The transactional pair. And the pair you can transact in is listed here, and they have tons and tons and tons of pairs, okay? And just so you know, this is on Stellar X, all right? And again, I have gotten a few comments about how come I'm not showing other things out there like Lumen Swap and so forth. It's not I love Lumen Swap. All right. I love it. It's just I'm very familiar with how to go through and navigate Stellar X in like a presentation format. But yeah, you do. You have all these pools, but the pools are two-sided, right? There's 2 tokens attached to these pools. Stellar wants to make it single-sided liquidity going forward. All right. So single-sided liquidity going forward is big, because that would allow you to then just dump XLM into that liquidity pool. So yes, Money Tree, I like you, but I don't like you because you've ruined my idea. My big thing, I was not going to stake in Stellar until it went single-sided liquidity. And so Money Tree, you are awesome, but you kind of made me release my bag a little early, because that's my next biggest purchase, like my next big purchase in terms of investment is when Stellar goes single-sided liquidity. So yeah, you kind of got me to say it. So Money Tree, you rock, but at the same time, dang it, why did you make me say that? But no, I got to be open with you guys. And that's what I'm looking for, single-sided liquidity, so that yes, once mass adoption or adaptation, you could use either one. Once one of those happens, I will be staked, right? I will be in that liquidity pool of single-sided universal swap liquidity. So there you go. All right. Let's see. So Money Tree, hopefully that answered it for you, right? I am waiting for that right now. Single-sided liquidity is probably going to happen. Yep, Money Tree, exactly. Single-sided, man. I got you. But Money Tree, single-sided liquidity, that is going to have to, I'm almost positive that's going to have to come through like a consensus protocol, or I'm sorry, a protocol vote, because to get automated market makers, this was done on the base layer, right? If they're going to do another base layer thing like that, that's going to have to come through a protocol. We'll know about that ahead of time. So for those of you out there talking about like staking and earning and so forth, yes, apparently the cat's out of the bag because Money Tree exposed it for everyone what I was going to do. I am going to wait till single-sided liquidity happens, and those are going to be the pools that I most actively participate in. Most active in terms of my biggest pool will be in a single-sided liquidity pool when they create it. And we will know ahead of time because in order for that to work, they're probably going to have to launch like a pre-pilot to see if the mechanics work, just like they did with automated market makers. They started automated market makers way ahead of time and like worked out the kinks and made sure that the network was cool with it before going forward so they didn't waste resources. When it comes to single-sided liquidity, the same thing is going to happen. You are going to hear about it first before it goes live. Yep, that's the action right there. Let's see. Rano Royal says, yeah, I understand completely, but you also have to think about how there are no users right now. So when mass adaptation does kick in, it would obviously be to lower it to that one stroop. Yeah, no, you're right. You could. You definitely could. No, you're totally right. And with the problem is in what Rano is trying to say is the bigger the pool comes, like the pool of usage. I'm actually talking about real users of Stellar, right? Of the network. Once that pool grows like to active users, all right? And let me pull that up on the screen so you guys know what the heck I'm talking about. We start talking about active users, all right? And that's this right here, all right? Active users is in orange, okay? So once that pool, and I'll make sure you guys can see it, this one right here, active users in orange, all right? Once the active users actually goes to scale, because remember, your El Salvador project that went Bitcoin as legal tender with the Chivo wallet, 2.2 million wallet holders. They did that in 2 months. That's 2.2 million active people that are using it as like a transactional basis. That's huge. Stellar does not have anywhere near that. Like, look at these actives, 155,000, 16,000, 71,000, 86,000. You see what I mean? So yes, you're right. Once that mass adaptation happens, you're going to have a whole bigger transactional pool, which will allow it to function with the stroops, right? With the changing of the stroops. Hopefully that made sense for everyone out there. But yeah, thank you, Rano. I love those kind of questions, by the way. Let's see. The network doesn't have a bunch of spam accounts right now. It doesn't. And so when they built Stellar to make it expensive enough to deter spamming, but cheap enough for affordability. They're always going to have to move that mark to make sure. And oh my gosh, Rano Royal, spam accounts. Do you think there's a way we could figure out spam accounts on the Stellar network? Do you think there's a way we could do that data set wise? Kind of, you got me wondering about that. So, yeah, Money Tree says, yeah, I'm talking more about single-sided. Yeah, single-sided liquidity pools are going to be big going forward. I think it's going to be huge. That's my personal bet. Single-sided liquidity is where it's at. I don't want to always stake two things at the same time or put two things in a liquidity pool. That ties up two assets. I would rather just tie up one asset and one asset to earn and leave the other one for leveraging. Just strategy out there. Rano Royal says, also, did the average amount on the 3 lumens it takes to open an account now, the average would be about 30 cents, so almost $1. Yes, that is correct. You are totally correct with that. Killers Media says, what's up, homie? What's up to you, man? How you doing? So yes, Rano, you are right. So that's what I'm saying. To open up the wallet, right, you would then have to change the protocol to make it less lumens if the lumens went completely sky high in price, because then that would deter actual usage in developing nation, right? I mean, that in essence, that would almost be like pre-gas fees to get started, right? That'd be kind of weird. You have to pay this crazy upfront cost just to get started. And that's what Stellar wants to avoid. So as the price would go up, like crazy go up, they would have to turn down the onset cost to fire up a wallet to keep it scalable for developing nations and to keep it in a different equal plane rather than Bitcoin and Ethereum, which we're learning is catered to whales. Whew, boy, that was pretty good, wasn't it? Let's see. Let me have a quick drink of water here, guys. Give me a quick second. And again, questions, comments, throw them in here. I'm going to go a little bit longer. Let's see. What am I at time-wise here? We're going to go probably till about like 3 o'clock, guys. So just kind of keep that. We're going to go another 13 more minutes. All right, just to let you know. Let me get some water here real quick. All right, so Money Tree says, I'm sure they'll lower the amount you need to have in your wallet. I think XRP just did this. Yeah, it's easy to do. It just requires on the protocol level, right? So again, If this were to happen, guess what would happen? We would know ahead of time of a protocol vote because this is decentralized. That's what's really cool about this, is we'll know this stuff. And that's why I want to get into the data. I want to get into the data because when I look at active accounts, something happened right here. Check it out. I'm looking at it on the screen. Something happened right here that fired up a whole slew of active accounts for 3 days, and then they went dormant again. As you can see, they created assets. Totally crazy. But think that out, all right? Stuff happens. We now have to use this data to get ahead of it. All right. Let's see. Killis Media says, what's up? Yeah, I said hi. I'm just keeping up with the comments, man. It's cool. When do you think ISO 2022 will start being priced in? That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of exactly that. It's not priced in now. Geez, oh my God, I would hope it's not priced in now because that would be depressing as all could be. I think you're going to see ISO 2022 pricing priced in by this metric. Your utility tokens will start trading separately, okay? And this is I don't think you're going to know until the money starts hitting first. So I don't think there's going to be a pre-knowledge of this, but I think what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to use the data to tell us when the money is flooding in, okay? So let's do this. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. We're going to compare this to Doge, right? And just don't make fun of me. I'm just comparing, okay, guys? I'm just comparing this to Doge, to Bitcoin, and let's make Bitcoin red for fun. Okay, do you see how they all follow the same pattern, right? Like, it's very similar pattern-wise, you know, and some of them are very, very tight on each other, okay? When ISO pricing starts kicking in, I'm going to notice this difference go away. You're going to see instead of the market trading together, the market's going to split into utility and use into everything else. You're going to have meme, and then you're going to have like the rich kids club, right? So will we know ahead of time when pricing gets pulled in? No. But what we will know is if we keep charting as a comparison level, instead of the comparisons following each other like this, something's going to cause them to do this and just separate, okay? I want you to think of the EV market. Tesla right now was traded with a whole bunch of other EVs, right? Or actually a whole other bunch of EVs were traded with Tesla, right? Because they clumped the market together in an investment strategy. Then all of a sudden Tesla breaks free, right? Because their utility, their use case and so forth, right? Once that leader emerges from the pool, that separation happens, that's how we're going to be able to track this going forward. So yeah, just food for thought. Let's see. Mapartis says, where are you at, buddy? I'm going to go up here and read this. Mapartis says, probably by filtering all accounts that have loads of daily transactions under. And that's kind of what I was thinking too. But again, Mapartis, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Okay, Mapartis, you just set me up and you rock, all right? So check this out. Mapartis says, well, why don't we filter accounts, all right? And then we could find out what dormant and ghost accounts are, right? And what the spam accounts are. Here's the problem with that, Mapartis, is that right now Stella's accuracy for data for us is only 99% accurate. So if we start with tier number 1, and I'm pointing my screen, I'll highlight it right now. So if we start with tier number 1, which is we're going to know how many account holders we have. We already know we're only 99% accurate with that data. If we then go to tier 2 and we start going, well, wait a minute, now we're going to filter from 0.1 lumens or less. And then we go to tier 3 is now of that pool, it's people that are transacting less than 0.1 lumens. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like those spam accounts. Before you know it, the accuracy of our data goes to total crap. So you prove my use case, right? Of why we need data analytics and why we need some Six Sigma people in this world, because that's my point. You're right. I can do that with the data right now, but I'm not going to be accurate. Right? So with Stellar's data that they're providing right now with the public, I could track it. I could break it down into pivot tables. Right now, though, with your query, Mapartis, I went 4 layers deep on that analytics. I would only be 96% accurate, and that sucks. Think about that. That sucks. If I'm going to provide you guys data, I'm going to be like 99.99999%. I'm going to be accurate to 3 to 4 decimal places at the minimum. That's how it goes. So think about that, okay? 96%, that's real close to 1 in 20 being missing. You guys don't want me to give you data that's 1 in 20 wrong. No, you want me to be way more right than that. So you're right, Mapartis. That is a way to do it, but the problem is the base data needs to be more accurate for us to pull this off. And that's why we need to start working with Stellar to get their base data more accurate. Money Tree says, have you looked into what the Flare network is preparing? They will be able to loan out risk free to earn Flare tokens. Yeah, they are. They're going to loan out money. And the other cool thing about it too is that this crypto banking and crypto thing that we're going through, they're going to start giving loans to the unbankable. That's really, really cool stuff out there. And that means people that don't have traditional bank accounts are going to be able to get loans. Short-term loans to help them out with stuff, repair bills, you name it. That is really cool. That is bringing financial equality to the world. And I'm a huge, huge fan of that. Ask me about it. Says, did you hear Akon sees the long-term value of Stellar Network through his direct experience? Do you own Bitcoin? Yeah, I know. Akon, yeah, he's building the city on it. He is. He is building a full city built on the Stellar blockchain. That is going to be a fascinating project. And the cool thing is, we are all going to be around to see it. That's awesome. That is going to be awesome to see. Let's see. Maparta says, from what I've seen, Akon's project isn't as big as he describes, as nothing has moved for months. Yeah, and that's kind of the idea. And Maparta speaks French. Very, very cool. Good for you, man. And I've once seen pictures of it from French Africans that posted on Facebook. Many of the locals are mad about this project. Mapartas, if you could share some of that stuff with me, that would be great. That'd be awesome because you're right. I think, remember we heard about that with, who was it? Was it, and I don't want to screw this up. Was it Neo? Right, the car that they said they had this plant and it was the same idea. They had all this stuff talked. I think it was Neo. They had this plant, and then when we did the satellite photos, there was nothing built on this plant. There was outhouses and work trucks, but that's it. They didn't even have a factory, not even a foundation set. So if that's what you're talking about, that's yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Let's see. Killismita says, so November 22 is when we'll start seeing that separation. Going to be honest with you, I think that separation might even happen sooner. Because if November is when that wants to kick in, people are going to price that in way ahead of time. Killis, what I'm telling you right now, what I'm going to focus on, all right, and this is just how I'm doing it, I'm looking for the separation. I'm going to keep charting this frequently, and I'm going to pick different coins, like a Doge, like a Bitcoin, like a Stellar. I'm going to add Ethereum to it, and I'm going to see when all of that starts coming out. All right, when instead of it kind of working together in that wave, that synergy wave, right, when it just separates. That's what I'm looking for. So don't think too much about November. Pricing in happens way, way, way earlier. Oh my gosh, Mapartis is from Montreal in Quebec. Quebec, Hauteville, well, Basseville. That's right, I like Basseville, Quebec City. Hauteville is pretty cool. Yeah, sorry, I know a fair amount of French, so I can, and it's actually Canadian French is what I learned. And Quebec City, one of my favorite cities in the world. I actually went to the 400-year anniversary of Quebec City with my wife, and that was awesome. I loved it there, so thank you on that. Mapartis says, my query was pretty basic, I got to admit. No, you're right, but the problem is, though, is that anytime you take data that's only 99% accurate, every time you add a different level of the query, and I think we did 3 or 4 levels, every time you add a level to that query, all right, because your first one is accounts, then it's accounts of this amount, then it's accounts that are actively transferring this amount. And you see what I mean? We go layers real quick here. The data gets really messy as long as we keep adding layers to it. It does. It gets really, really messy. Let's see. Randall Royal says, true, I get those airdrop memos too. Yeah, I mean, the only problem with, with airdrop stuff like that is just is it going to be sustainable? Flare's cool. I like Flare. Aqua, I went on earlier with, I talked about on this live stream with Aqua. I don't know. Aqua's, I'll just be quiet. I just don't think it's going to be useful in the near future. I just don't. I mean, it's cool now, but why can't someone else build a better mousetrap? Just saying. It's easy to build a better mousetrap. I don't think Aqua's product is so different that it's going to be something that's going to push everyone else out of the market. No, if someone is going to be like, whoa, they made money on it, I'll make money on it. I'll just make mine a little bit better. Improve, cut margins, make profit. Yeah, you guys know how it works. Maparta says, gotta find back these posts. I'll give you, yeah, please do. And if it's in French, don't worry. I can read French and speak it, Canadian French, very well. I will be honest, it's Canadian French, okay? I do prefer English though, obviously, but I can speak and read French. I can also speak and understand German. I'm not the best at speaking German, but I can understand it a fair amount. So yeah, love the French-Canadian connection. Let's see, Rana Royal says, but those are sniffers sent for basically tracking. But that's the idea, Rano, is that if these are for basic tracking, this is the information that they're providing us and the public. So if you want whales to come in, if you want big institutions to come in, I'm telling you right now, they're going to do exactly what I did, because this is what I had to do as a job. They would come in and they're going to do the data themselves, and they're going to see that the data being spit out to them is not usually 3 or 4 decimal places accurate. I'm telling you right now, that is the data has to be 3 or 4 decimals accurate for any sort of real concrete data analytics to happen, okay? So what they have to do is they have to improve this to improve the clarity and network usage and utility in terms of a data metrics tracking protocol for investors. There you go. So yeah, we've been talking about a whole bunch of stuff today. We got liquidity pool talk. We've been talking about single-sided liquidity pairs, videos. You guys, please, please, please do me a huge favor. I did a video on the 19th. No, it wasn't the 19th. Was it 19th? No, 17th of December, all right? It's this Web 3.0 one. It is 7 minutes long. If you could please watch it and share it with someone that does not understand Web 3.0 and does not understand crypto and does not understand how this information is super critical for us to get control over, please share this with them or watch this with them. I watched this video with my wife, and you guys that have done the live streams have seen my wife, she's not a big crypto fan. She's definitely not an NFT fan. Don't even bring that word up. But after she watched this Web 3.0 one, it really did hit her pretty hard. I put a little bit more effort into this one, and it came out really good. So yeah, if it's something, share that with people. Check it out. It's not getting pushed in the algorithms for YouTube. I can tell you that right now. It is doing extremely poorly because it's a topic that isn't sexy, right? I mean, when Stellar, the market goes down, YouTube pushes stuff. That's just how it is. YouTube has a horrible way of pushing negative algorithms. Yeah, that's what Web 3.0 is. Just watch it. Watch the video. So yeah, that's what we got going on now. If you guys got any more questions, let me know. Otherwise, I think we're going to start shutting it down here soon. So I'll give you guys a couple more minutes. Let's get these last questions, last topics in, and then I'm going to enjoy the rest of my horribly rainy and cold afternoon down south here. We had a horrible cold front coming in, and it sucked. The other thing, too, is I launched 2 videos today that are big ones, all right? It's this one right here that is how big, and this one right here with Patrick Starr, the missing account follow-up. You guys, this is big stuff to watch. These are huge developments, and that's why I did the live stream, so that if anyone had questions regarding these 2 videos, you can ask me, because this channel is getting very in-depth. We're getting very organic regarding our data, and we're probably going to be one of the most informed crypto groups out there because we are going to do this together. I cannot tell you the awesome emails I'm getting with articles and data and stuff. We're doing this together. We are a team. So don't think this is me. This is all of us. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to help you guys out by showing you different ways to do data analytics, different ways to look at problems and so forth, all right? Just food for thought. So we got Hashbin saying cheers, Mapartis saying cheers. You guys, this has been awesome. This has been a lot of fun. Now, if you're just joining or you just recently joined, don't worry. As soon as this live stream ends, which is going to be super soon, it will be in the live stream folder. You will be able to watch it. Tons of juice in this live stream. I might even take this and turn this into a video because it was so good. So let's do this. I want to end on a high note. I want to say thank you to everyone out there. Thank you to the new members of the channel. It's you guys are making my day. I had a horrible night last night. I'm only saying this at the end because this is, like I said, it's personal, but I'll share it with you guys. My wife's car got involved in a hit and run last night in front of our house, and yeah. So we did not have a lot of fun last night and this morning. So yeah, seeing that like we've had the member support, it's been great. Seeing the comments, Killis Media says hit that like button before you leave the video. Yeah, I mean this is, you guys, this is what took last night from being at a crap last night to me getting up super early this morning and doing something that I love by pumping out 2 great videos for you guys with great data. So, Klaus from Family Hobbies and Cards. Try not to get choked up because I really like the support that I've gotten from all you guys. But Klaus from Family Hobbies and Cards, thank you, everyone. I totally appreciate it.